Welcome to the Ebb and Glow podcast. I'm your host, Jenelle Tremblett, and I'm a firm believer that even when life doesn't go as planned, it is taking you exactly where you're meant to be. On this podcast, I'm here to help you finally release control of what you think you want and begin to just trust in the ebbs and flows of life. Each week, I will show you how to build that positive mindset, radiate with self-confidence, and cultivate an unshakable resilience. Let me prove to you that even when life ebbs, you will glow. Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 96 of the Ebb and Glow podcast. I'm your host, Jenelle, and today's episode is a solo catch-up with me, which is sometimes my favorite time of the month. So 1 out of every 4 episodes is a solo catch-up with me where I chat about what I'm going through in terms of my ebbs and my glows. And I always usually tell like a story or kind of what I'm thinking in the past month, what I'm going through. You know the drill. You know what this podcast is all about. However, if you are new, welcome. A solo episode with me is always a great one to start with because it gives you a sense of who I am and what I talk about and how I view the world and my style of chatting and interviewing. The topics seem a lot bigger than they are. Like they are big topics, but the way I run my podcast is a lot lighter. We're talking about things that people have gone through with the theme of it's going to be okay. Things are going to get better. You're going to grow from it. You're going to learn from it, and you're going to be better off because of what you're going through, whether that's to be able to shine a light for someone else, whether that's to be able to show up differently the next time this occurs. There's a lot of ways to grow. And I'm a big believer that the world is always happening for you, not to you. And the moment that you change your mindset to switch that way, the world starts looking like a very different place than you're used to. If you haven't already, please make sure to rate, review, and subscribe. If you're listening on Spotify, just hit that 5-star review. It's 1 click. And if you're listening on Apple, feel free to leave a review and write something. If you're loving these episodes, DM me. Tell me you're listening, share it on your stories, because if you're gaining value, then I know someone out there will gain value as well. And if you're watching/listening on YouTube, hit that subscribe button as well. So you'll always know when there's a new episode out. So the past month for me has been interesting. Like I really don't know where the summer is going. Today is August 23rd when you're listening to this, when this episode goes live. And we're coming on the end of the month. Now, living in Toronto, we get summer weather at least until the end of September. Like I don't even think about fall until probably the end of September. September here is still very warm. So summer definitely doesn't feel like it's ending for me by any means. And when you listen to this episode, I will be heading out for a little vacation. I'll be going home to visit my family for a week, and then I will be going to Winnipeg for one of my friends' weddings. So I'm excited for that because I haven't really taken much vacation at all this summer or in a while. So it'll be nice to just chill out a bit and relax and take some time to myself. But that being said, this summer has gone really fast, and by the end of the summer, when I get back from vacation, I always like to do this thing where I kind of scroll through my camera roll of like photos and videos just to kind of remind myself of the summer that I've had. And I know I'll have a lot of good memories once I go through those. But yeah, I've said it like 3 times already, but I have no idea where the summer has gone. But what's been going on with me in the past month? The biggest ebb that I've had in the past month is this month of my career and this month in real estate has been the absolute hardest month of real estate I've ever had in so many ways. So many ways it's been tough. So I've been in real estate for almost 2 years now. This is my second summer working in real estate. And this month of August has genuinely been the most exhausting and discouraging I've ever had. And it's tough to stay positive in a situation where you feel like you have no control and you feel like you're constantly losing and you feel like you're constantly just not getting anything done. For me, it makes me feel like, why didn't I just take the entire month off? Like, I feel like I've wasted a lot of my energy in this month and trying to make deals happen that aren't happening. So for a bit of context, the rental market in particular has been the hardest. All of my coworkers are feeling the same. So it's not unique to me at all. All of my coworkers are feeling the same. Basically, there is not enough inventory for the amount of renters looking for a new place. For me, I don't take on any client that doesn't have really great credentials in the first place because it's just not worth my time. And even so, my clients with top credentials are applying to 5, 6, 7 places before they're getting a place. And it's nothing to do with them. It's nothing to do with like the properties or anything. It's just there's not enough inventory and it happens. But it can be stressful and you're holding a lot of the stress on as the agent because ultimately my job is to stay positive for everyone else, to keep everyone confident, keep everyone feeling good about everything. But there definitely comes times where I'm discouraged. I mean, I'm discouraged the whole time. I hate losing more than I like winning. Losing is just not doesn't suit my personality at all. I hate it so much. I'm a pretty competitive person, but mostly with myself. So when I lose, I always want to wonder like what can I do better? I always ask the listing agent like any feedback, whatnot. And no one is giving feedback. So I don't even know how to fix anything. But genuinely, I don't feel like there's anything that needs fixing. I think it's just the way the market is right now. And the market, to chalk it up, it's discouraging and it's exhausting. So I'm very much used to winning and closing a lot of deals. And yeah, this has been the slowest month of my career in terms of deals closed. However, I feel like it's a month that I've probably have worked more than I ever have. And it's funny that that correlation is so backwards. You think the amount of time you work would correlate with how many deals you get done, but yeah, the deals just aren't closing. So this ebb in my life this month is two-pronged. So first, it can be very exhausting, like I said, when you're the person that has to stay positive and confident for everyone else. So you're taking on a lot of the stress for everyone else. And when I'm working with 5, 10, 15 clients at any given time, and that's a lot of stress to hold at once. And to be able to stay positive and be able to stay motivated and like see the light at the end of the tunnel, it takes a lot of willpower and persistence to be able to do that. And that can also be a little exhausting. And the other side of it, it's hard to stay confident and abundant within yourself because keep in mind, I'm in a business where it's 100% commission. So obviously, if there's no deals closing this month, my income level is very low. And it's hard not to fall into the trap of thinking a 2-week paycheck and thinking, okay, I didn't make as much money this month. Is that what the rest of my career is going to look like? And I'm smart enough to know that that's not the case. However, it's very easy to fall into that scarcity mindset again. So one thing I've been very mindful of this month is just avoiding thinking like that and being very aware when my thoughts go in that direction. It's tough, I'll be honest. Working in a fully commission-based business can be very tough and stressful in times of slower periods. So that's kind of where my head is right now in terms of that. Last year, I took all of August off. And after going through this entire month, I really feel like I should have just taken August off completely because as of now, I don't feel like it was a smart use of time. It might be. It might be soon. Like in a couple months, the fruits of my labor may prosper and may come to fruition. I hope because I've worked a lot this month, but I kind of just wish I took the whole month off and going into the rest of my career and thinking about the times of the year that are best to take off. I think next year I'll take all of August off again after kind of working this month. So if you're ever in a situation where you feel that your wheels are just spinning, you feel that you're putting so much work into something and it's not paying off, my advice to that and advice that I've been emulating myself is just take a step back. Do not try to force anything that is not easily happening. And that goes in all areas of life, but especially in business. If a deal isn't happening smoothly, of course, you got to do a little bit of negotiation, a little bit of pushing, a little bit of compromising. But if you feel like you're just coming up against a wall over and over and over again, just take a step back. For instance, I have a client that I've been working with for a couple of months now, and their their expectations do not match their budget at all, and they're not willing to budge. So at some point in time, as the agent, I just need to bow out, because if they're not going to be realistic about the market at all, then we're wasting everyone's time. And it takes a lot of courage and self awareness to be able to step up and say, hey, I can't serve you anymore because you're not being realistic about this market. And there's nothing I can do to help at the moment until you start listening to me about the realities of the market. And I've had to have a couple of those conversations as well with clients. And some have been well received and some have been not. And the ones that have not been, I would have just continued wasting my time with them. So I'm kind of glad. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. So all in all, I know it's going to be a busy fall and a very prosperous fall for me in terms of career, but it's hard not to let this month get you down. And I'm trying not to, but to be fully transparent, it has been a really tough month for me. I'm sure most of my friends and family would never even notice. Like, I definitely don't show any of my stress or if anything's getting me down. But yeah, it's been easily the toughest month of my career, and I'm very tired. So it's going to be nice to have a little vacation. The other ebb that's happening in my life is all around. I've kind of put my healing on pause a little bit, not by choice, but by prioritization. So if you've listened to past solo episodes of mine, I signed up for a course in the winter. It's basically like almost kind of like mini therapy. And you start going through all of this shadow work and healing and doing this like healing inner child. And it leads into some manifestation courses around abundance and manifestation and whatnot. But the whole idea of that program is you have to heal and unblock some serious parts of trauma and places where you need healing before you can start manifesting the life that you want. And I have let that coursework fall to the absolute bottom of my priority list lately, and I'm not proud of it. So that's one thing after this vacation, or maybe during this vacation, I want to put back up on the priority list and really be intentional about those courses and about that healing process. The reason why is, especially when it comes to dating, I've kind of told a lot of people right now that I'm putting dating on pause, probably until next spring. I just don't have the energy, and I'm not in a place to be dating right now. And a lot of it is because I need to go through these courses and really heal some parts before I'm willing to seriously date, intentionally date again. So think, if I keep putting these courses and this healing journey on the bottom of my priority list, the time that I can start dating again that timeline keeps getting pushed as well. So, and I mean, I'm a very loving person, a very flirty person. I love relationships and dating. So if I want to get back to that stage of my life and be able to do that again, I need to put healing as a priority. So here's your sign that if you're putting anything off in terms of healing or therapy or anything in that realm of your life, put it back on your priority list, because I know the rest of the areas of your life will benefit from it. Okay, now for all the fun, positive parts that are happening in my life. And I like to call those on this podcast the glows. And as a reminder, you can have both at the same time. Think, as I tell you these glows right now and the great parts that are happening in my life, even though these glows are happening, I'm still having the hardest month of real estate in my career. Like, these can happen at the exact same time. So never think that life is one way or the other. You're probably both having ebbs and glows simultaneously. And I know I am every single month. The ebbs you learn from, the ebbs make you a stronger person, a more resilient person. The ebbs make you appreciate the glows so much more, but just don't forget that they can happen simultaneously. Okay, the biggest glow this month so far is I finally got a couple things off my big to-do list. So in my business and in my career, it's so easy to be caught up working in your business and not on your business. And at the end of the day, when it's 8 o'clock at night, it's so hard to have the energy to want to do big projects that are going to move your business longer term, even though you won't see the results today. One of those big projects that have been something that's been on my to-do list and something that I've needed to get done for a long time and also wanted to get done is starting a TikTok channel for real estate. And so July 31st, I looked myself in the mirror and I said, you are doing 30 days of TikTok. You are going to challenge yourself and you are going to hold yourself accountable. And I know the power of TikTok because I've been kind of on the platform as a consumer for a few months now. And I'm seeing the power that all the content I'm getting is Toronto based content. And so if I'm posting Toronto based real estate content, it's getting pushed out to Toronto people. And that's a great way to grow your brand as a real estate agent in Toronto and just get well known. It can be tiresome when you're cold calling or cold emailing people and they don't know who you are. But if they're scrolling through TikTok and they see you come up randomly and my vibe is something that they vibe with, that's something they'll want to choose me as a realtor if they like who I am and they feel like we could get along, because that's honestly how people choose the realtors, based on who they're going to have the most fun with and who has the most knowledge and experience and who they feel that they can be best served by. So August 1st came around and my challenge to myself was 30 days of TikTok. So every single day posting a real estate TikTok. And since then, so at the time of this recording, let's check to see where I am. So I basically started with 0 followers and like 0 likes. I started the account really from scratch. I had a few videos that I posted throughout the year, but I didn't really do anything with them. And I just archived them and kind of started from scratch. So at this point in time, I have 559 followers and 13.7 thousand likes. I'm so proud of that. And a couple of my videos have over 100K views, and one of them has over 150,000 views. So it's been a lot of fun. And mind you, I've only posted for 23 days so far. And I'm seeing the growth already. And not that I need to see the growth, but the growth definitely motivates me to keep creating. And I've also had a ton of leads that have come through finding me on TikTok and a lot of great feedback. So it's going to be interesting to see how this account grows and where it takes me in my career as I keep growing this account. So I'm almost done 30 days. I've challenged myself. I've held myself accountable, and I'm so proud of really taking this seriously. I've posted every single day for 23 days straight now, and I have 13 videos in my drafts ready to go. So I'm just really proud, and I'm getting really excited to post this type of content and thinking of ideas to create. So I'm excited to see how I can grow this channel, how I can grow my brand and my name within the Toronto real estate space. And overall, it's just been fun. So I think that's the biggest lesson to me is, if you want to grow a channel, if you want to grow or build anything, make sure you find it fun. Don't do it just to do it. If you're not enjoying it, it's never going to be sustainable. So I'm finding with this, I'm enjoying every single day creating new content, and I have a schedule of like the days I create the content. And so it's going to be interesting to see what this account looks like by the end of the year. I'm going to finish out this 30 days for August. And as of now, I want to do every single day for the rest of the year. So let's hold myself accountable and see what comes from it. The other glows that are happening in my life is I got a real estate coach. So I'm excited about that. I joined a coaching program. It's the first time I've ever had like any type of coach or anything really in terms of like life coaching or business coaching. So I'm super excited for this coach. It's a really great group. It's funny. A lot of coaches, they're probably not going to tell you anything that you don't already know, but it's nice to have someone that says to you and reminds you that this is what you need to get done. If this is your goal long term, you have to get this done today. And it's just a nice like sounding board of someone that's been in the business for a long time. So they have credibility. I have a lot of respect for them. And I'm just excited to have that as part of my life a couple times a month. So I'm excited that I took the jump into the coaching world to be coached and see how it prospers and see how it grows my business and mindset further. And Another glow of my life lately links back to that. So you notice when I started talking about the glows, I said I've gotten two big things off my to-do list recently. So one was the TikTok and the other one was finally getting my email newsletter up. So one of the biggest things in real estate is keeping in contact with your sphere of influence. And a really easy way to do that is through email marketing. So as everyone who probably listens to this podcast knows, is I have a marketing background. So I'm very familiar with email marketing. I know how to write emails. I know a lot about emails and building emails. But it's, again, one of those projects that it falls to the bottom of the to-do list every single day, every single week. This is a project I've wanted to get launched probably since March, maybe earlier. I remember talking about it with one of my girlfriends in March, thinking about the content. And she told me in March, she's like, Jenelle, you need to get this executed immediately. And I got it executed, April, May, June, July, 5 months later. Like, I'm not proud of that, but it's done now. That's the point. I finally sent out the emails this week. I got my database all organized, and I'm excited to create these monthly newsletters each month now. And it seems like such a small task, but for some reason, I just made the project into something way more daunting than it needed to be. And then once I finally sat down and took the time and wrote the email and got my database organized, it really didn't take that much time. And I don't know if you've ever felt this way before, but when you finally get a project off your to-do list and realize that it wasn't as big and scary and time consuming as it was, you're kind of kicking yourself and thinking, oh my God, if I just started this sooner, where would I be now? And you can say that with working out. You can say that with getting organized. You can say that about looking for a job. Like, there's two best times to start. And this is a play onto a classic real estate phrase, but people always say there's two best times to buy real estate. One was yesterday and the other one is today. And I think that aligns well with, if you ever want to launch anything or start something or create something, two best times to do it. One was yesterday and the next best time is today. So here's your encouragement to, if you're dreaming of something or want to get something finally off your to-do list and you know it's going to move the needle in your life or your business, just get it done. Prioritize it. Get up early. Don't go out on a Friday night and just get it done during then, because that's what I had to do. I was working on it last Friday night. That's what I did on a Friday night, was work on my email marketing, work on my email newsletter. And last night I was up until late again, finalizing it and getting it scheduled to be sent this week. And I'm just so proud that it's finally out. To anyone listening, this might seem like something so little to you and meaningless, but to me, it was such a big project to finally call complete. And a lot of me getting the coach a couple of weeks ago really put in perspective how beneficial and how important it was to get that email marketing and to get those email newsletters started. So it's finally done. And that coach of mine went through kind of the numbers and the money and the compensation and the opportunities you're missing by not having that email newsletter as a real estate agent. And so it's nice that it's finally off my plate and that each month I can work on it a little bit, but the biggest part of the project is complete. So I'm really proud of that. The last real one that I want to talk about in terms of glows is I've finally started planning my trip to Bali. I haven't booked it, but I actually almost booked the flight last week. I just almost just like clicked check out, but I got to really think about the dates that I want to fly. I really want to go in January. However, it's kind of known as like kind of the worst rainy month to go. But there's something in me that's just saying like still go in January. So I'm kind of going back and forth. Do I do February instead? But I don't know. I kind of want to just like jump right into it right after Christmas and then come back and start fresh in February. But I don't know. I'm going to think about it while I'm on vacation this week of what I really want to do. But the biggest part is I've finally started planning it and started really taking it seriously. So that makes me really excited. Bali is something that's been on my mind for years. And you'll laugh, but I just feel like it's a place that I can go find myself in. It's the prey of my eat, pray, love. So I'm excited. I'm excited to go there. And I don't know when yet, but I will. And I'm excited for planning that. So the biggest topic I wanted to talk about on this episode is all about energy and intention setting. And I want to explain this by telling you a story that's happened recently within my friend group. And so, if you don't know me very well and you just kind of know me by listening through this podcast, I don't know if you've figured out by now that I'm a very like spiritual person. I'm very into astrology, I'm very into mindset, I'm very into energy, and I'm very intuitive. I feel energy and I can usually figure out, I already kind of know what people are thinking before they ever have to say it. It's a really weird superpower. And to a point where I don't even recognize that it's a superpower because I forget that not everyone has this. So I always forget. But yeah, it's funny. I know exactly what people are thinking. I can feel it right away. I can intuitively know what's going on without anyone ever having to say anything. And so where I'm going with that is I'm a big believer that you can set the intention and set the mood for whatever you're doing. You can take control over how situations are going to play out. And even if they're playing out differently than you wanted them to, if you set the intention and the energy that you want to go into it with, that's the lens that you're looking at that situation with, no matter what. And so you almost put like blinders on. So say if you woke up one day and you're like, today's going to be a great day. It's going to be positive. It's going to be fun. It's going to be light. I'm going to love it. It's going to be a great day. And then all of a sudden it rains all day. You're wearing white pants. You're soaking wet. Nothing is working in your favor. Those are facts. Like those things can still happen, but I can guarantee you if you woke up that day and started your day with the intention of today's going to be light and fun and great, I don't think the storm and wearing white pants and things not working out are going to affect you as much. They can still happen. There's no doubt about that. You don't have control over that. However, I don't think they will affect you as much as they normally would if you hadn't set the intention of the day. So here's where I'm going with that. If you're a longtime listener or if you're a friend of mine listening, you'll know that I was at Boots and Hearts recently with a bunch of my girlfriends. So we went to a full concert, a 3-day concert, 6 of us girls in an RV. And what a fantastic time we had. Anyone that's been on a girls' trip, you know it's tough to have 3 to 4 days where there's no drama, where there's no fight, everyone's in a good mood. That seems impossible when I describe that. However, that's exactly what happened for us. 6 girls in a very cramped RV. One of the days absolutely poured raining and could have very easily ruined our entire trip. However, 4 days, 6 girls, 1 RV, and a hell of a lot of alcohol, and it went off without a hitch. And anyone listening to this that's been on any type of weekend trip with a group of friends is probably shocked to hear this. But I'm going to tell you exactly why this weekend went off without a hitch. So, as I said at the beginning, I'm that friend that's a little bit spiritual. And not a little bit, a lot, but I'm kind of the woo-woo friend. So we went up in 2 different cars. So 3 of us went up in one car. The other 3 girls went up in another car. And so the car that I went in, I went out with 2 of my girlfriends. And when I got in the car, when we started the drive to go to the concert, it's about a couple hours outside of the city, I said to the girls, okay, it's going to be a great weekend. And I want everyone to pick a word and an intention for how they want the weekend to go. So pick one word, and that's going to be your word and your intention for the entire weekend. And some of you might be cringing listening to this, but that's the type of friend I am. I always want someone to kind of pick a word for the day or a word for the weekend, just like intention setting. So how this works is basically everyone picks one word, and basically as a friend group, you're kind of always reminding people of their word or pointing out ways where their word is showing up. And it allows the energy to be more curated and allows the energy to be more intentional. So I got all the girls to pick their words. My word was memories. My intention for the whole weekend was to come back home on that Monday and look back and think, wow, those were some great memories I made with my girlfriends. Those are some memories I'm going to take to my grave. I'm always going to remember this. This is going to be a fantastic weekend where I'm going to make memories. So I said to the girls, my word is memories. The other girls' words were, one girl was laughter, The other girl's word was light. So our words was memories, laughter, and light. So just like light energy. And so when we met up with the other girls, when we got to the campsite, I said to the girls, okay, all three of us have picked our word and our intention for the weekend. I want all three of you guys to also pick a word and an intention for the weekend. And so the other three girls, they chose spontaneous, they chose thriving, and they chose magnetic. So let me set the scene here. You have 6 girls that are on a full weekend trip, and this is a country music festival. So we're wearing cowboy boots, we're wearing cowboy hats, we're wearing jean skirts. It's just like a fun vibe. And you have this group of 6 girls where all they're thinking about and the energy that they're bringing is memories, laughter, light, thriving, spontaneous, and magnetic. Just sit with those 6 words for a moment. Light, laughter, thriving, spontaneous, magnetic, and memories. You can't tell me that as a group of 6 girls, we don't have a thriving magnetic aura all around us. Every single day, we reminded all of us of our words. And it was almost funny because a lot of my girlfriends aren't woo woo and spiritual, but things would happen. And like one of the girls, like I said, her word was magnetic, and things just kept happening to her. Like so many people were approaching her. There was great things happening. We hung out with a lot of great groups, and we kept saying to her, like, see, magnetic, magnetic, magnetic. And like I said, my word was memories. And I sit here now reminiscing, and that whole week was nothing but memories. And one of the other girls, her word was thriving, like I said. And I swear to God, the entire weekend she was thriving. I can't make this stuff up. And I feel like everyone really emulated their word the entire weekend. And by setting those intentions at the beginning of the weekend, I feel like everyone was really in a mindset and really wanted to hold themselves accountable of that word. And it really set the energy and the tone for the entire weekend. And so I want you to take this story and think about how can you bring that into your everyday life? Are you going on a trip with a bunch of friends coming up? Be that weird friend like me while you're in the car on the road trip and say, what's everyone's word? What's everyone's intention? And hold them accountable for it. Or are you about to go on a date with someone? How do you want that date to play out? Do you want that date to be exciting? Maybe that's your word. Maybe you're going into that date and you're saying, I want this date is going to be exciting. Whatever happens with this date, it's going to be exciting. I'm telling you, the date will be exciting. And call me crazy. You may say, oh, well, you're just going to link like whatever happened and convince yourself it was exciting. I don't care. It's all about energy. It's about the energy that you're bringing into a room, the energy that you're bringing into a situation, the energy that you're bringing into an interview, a date, a negotiation, a trip with friends. What word? Pick a word. And it's not a sentence, it's not this whole phrase, it's one word. You can do this in any area of your life. Maybe you're going into an interview. Maybe you're going to see your family. Maybe you're meeting your boyfriend's family soon. Whatever's coming up in your life, what is your word and intention? And you can do this every single day. Or you can pick a word for the week. You get to decide how your days are playing out. And no matter what is happening around you, as long as you're staying accountable to that energy and that word, I can guarantee you that's how you are going to see the situation and the world and the day. So, how I will be continuing this and taking my own advice. I'm going on vacation to see my family. I say vacation, but I'm going home for a week to visit my family and just have some family time. And I don't care how great of a relationship you have with your family. Anytime as an adult, you go back to spend time with your family, I'm telling you, your inner child's going to come out. I know mine always does. So I haven't decided on my word or my intention yet, but I will, and I will be holding myself accountable to it. And I want you to take this and run with this as well. I'm telling you, it will change the mood. It'll change the direction of your days and how you see the world. I can just tell you from my own experience, that was one of the best girls' trips I've ever been on. And I think it does have a lot to do with the intention setting. So that's my story for this month's episode. I hope you've taken some value from this. Never forget that you can simultaneously have ebbs in your life and glows in your life. You can have ups and downs happening at the exact same time. You can have something terrible and heartbreaking happening in your life, and you can still have other parts of your life going very well. Don't take those for granted, but also remember the low points of your days, of your lives, the hardships you go through. It's allowing you to be able to have so much gratefulness for the stuff that is going well in your life, and it's there to teach you something. I'm not a huge religious person, but I do believe the universe only gives you what you can handle. So if you feel like you can't handle what you've been given recently, I can guarantee you will, or you would have never been given it. So that being said, I've loved doing this episode. I always love my solo episodes with you. If you're gaining value from these types of episodes, please let me know and also share it with a friend. Wherever you are in the world and whatever time of day you're listening to this, I hope you are having a fantastic day. You deserve to have a fantastic day every single day of your life. This life that we have is a huge gift, and I always encourage people to treat it that way. So thank you so much for listening. I love chatting to you. And like I said, I hope you have a great day. Bye. Did you know that I'm not only a podcast host, but in my full-time career, I am a Toronto-based real estate agent. In 2021, I closed 100 deals. Yes, you heard that correctly, 100. So if you or someone you know is a busy professional looking to get into the Toronto real estate market and looking to work with a realtor who values your time, make sure to reach out to me and let's get connected. And in the meantime, we'll see you here back next week.